Hello friends, it's Kristie Marcotte. In today's video, I'll be using Bella Boulevard's EIEIO collection. This collection was released a couple months ago. I couldn't resist purchasing it. I love the fun images and designs. The pattern paper is only available in the 12x12 size. I purchased individual 12x12 sheets, but they also have a collection pack available that includes all of the pattern paper designs plus a sticker sheet. There are lots of fun coordinating items to go along with the pattern paper. I picked up 2 of the Ephemera icon packs. If you are interested in this collection, I will have links in the description box below. Be sure to check out all the other fun coordinating items. My favorite pattern paper in the entire collection is the sunflower design. I purchased 4 sheets. So I'm showing you the front and back side. It has a brown and white gingham on one side and the beautiful sunflower pattern on the other. My plan when purchasing this collection was to make cards to donate. I think the fun and cheerful designs will be perfect for the retirement home residents. One of the coordinating items is an ephemera pack with sentiments, but I'll be using general and birthday sentiments from my stash. Even though this is 12x12 paper, the designs are still small enough that you can use them for cards. This is also a great collection that you could use year-round. So let's go ahead and get started with card design number 1. I'll be using the sunflower and brown and white gingham paper for the first 3 card designs, since it is my favorite pattern paper. I will be using some card sketches for inspiration. The first card sketch is from OWH. It's number 218. And if you are interested in any of the sketches I use in this video, I share all of that information on my coordinating blog post. That link is provided in the description box below, or you can head over to KristieMarcotte.com. For the background of my card, I have some yellow polka dot paper. I'm adding a strip of the brown and white gingham paper. Along the edge of that strip, I'm adding a Love from Lizi peel off. This is the brown color with gold overlay, so it's super shiny. I'll layer this piece on some dark brown cardstock, put ATG tape on the back, and add my card front onto a card base, leaving 1/8 of an inch of the white card base showing. Next, I'll add the sunflower panel, put it in the upper right-hand corner. Try to decide which direction the sunflowers go. For a sentiment, I've stamped out Happy Hello. This is from Jaded Blossom's Happy Hello stamp set. I stamped it on some light yellow cardstock using brown ink. I'll cut a fishtail on the left side, layer this piece on the same dark brown cardstock. I'll adhere the 2 pieces together using some glue. Then I'll use my scissors and cut the fishtail layer on the left side. Before adhering it to the card, I'll add a scrap piece of cardstock just on the left side where it goes off of the sunflower panel. And that'll help keep everything nice and level on the card. For a final finishing touch, I'll use more Love from Lizi peel-offs. This is the mini circle style in the gold glitter color. I'm using the medium-sized circles and adding them on the left side of the card, following the design of the card sketch. This is one of my go-to card sketches. I use it all the time. It's perfect for featuring pretty pattern paper and a sentiment. So there is my finished card, and I did make 6 using this design. For card design number 2, this is another favorite card sketch. It's from Cards TV. It's sketch number 42. This card will feature the sunflower paper for the background, adding a strip of the gingham paper across the center of the card. I'll first layer it on some dark brown cardstock, and I'll also layer the sunflower panel on the same dark brown cardstock. The brown cardstock I'm using is from Tonic Studios. This is their chocolate brown color. It has a linen texture on one side. I'll put ATG tape on the back and add my card front onto a card base, leaving 1/8 of an inch of the white card base showing. Next, I'll add oval die cuts. The smaller oval I cut out of white shimmer cardstock, and the layering oval I use the same chocolate brown cardstock. I'll adhere the 2 together with some glue. Before adhering the oval die cuts, I'll add a scrap cardstock piece on the top and bottom, leaving a gap in the center where the gingham strip goes across the card. Then I'll put glue on the back and adhere it on the left side of the card. Next, I'll add one of the ephemera images, cute little girl holding a sunflower. I'll put glue on the back and adhere her onto the white oval. For a sentiment, I've already stamped and cut this out. Happy birthday. This is from Jaded Blossom's So Many Birthdays Revamped Stamps and Coordinating Die Set. Before adhering it to the card, I am adding some scrap cardstock pieces on the right side, leaving just the left side open. I was getting ready to adhere it down and realized I put the cardstock on the wrong side. Luckily, I was able to peel it off and readjust it. Then I'll put glue on the back and adhere it on the right side of the oval. Just part of the H and A are sitting on the oval. To finish off the card, I'm adding some Love from Lizi peel-offs. This is the same gold glitter color in the mini circle style. I'll add 3 following the sketch design, plus 2 more on the left side of the image. So there is my finished card, and I did make a total of 6. I used 3 different ephemera images. The little girl holding the sunflower, a large sunflower, and a jar with 3 sunflowers. Since I purchased 2 of the ephemera icon packs, I was able to make multiples. Now moving on to card design number 3. And this is the final card featuring the sunflower paper. The card sketch is from MFT. This is number 655. This is a very simple card design. I've already stamped the sentiment Happy Hello on some light yellow cardstock. I'll layer the sunflower paper on the chocolate brown cardstock, adhere that above the sentiment. At the bottom of the panel, I'm adding some Love from Lizi peel-offs. This is the brown color in the pinstripe style. I'm using the widest and also the medium width. I cut the peel-offs just a little bit wider than the panel. I'll wrap the ends around the back. Layer this piece on the chocolate brown cardstock, put ATG tape on the back, and add my card front onto a card base. For the 3 large circles indicated on the sketch, using more Love from Lizi peel-offs in the gold glitter color, I'll add 3 of them on the right side of the sentiment. For a final finishing touch, I'm adding a small banner in the upper right-hand corner using the same chocolate brown cardstock. I'll first cut a fishtail on the bottom, cut the right side in slightly at an angle, flip it over and do the same thing on the other side. Then I'll adhere it in place using some glue. So there is my finished card, and this time I made a total of 8. After the first 3 card designs using the sunflower paper, I think I still have 1 full sheet left. And I may go and purchase a few more sheets since I love the design. For card design number 4, the card sketch is from MFT. This is number 650. I selected 2 papers for the background. The top one features lots of different icon images, and the bottom is a green tone-on-tone with a grass design. I'll layer both of those pieces on some dark blue cardstock. For a little bit of contrast and shine, I'm adding a Love from Lizi peel-off between the 2 pattern papers. This is a lovely green mirror color in the pinstripe style. I'll put ATG tape on the back and add my card front onto a card base. Next, I'll add a stitch circle die cut, and I use some white shimmer cardstock for the circle. I'll adhere it in the lower right-hand corner. Then I'll add an adorable cow ephemera piece, and I did pop it up using some thin foam dimension. For a sentiment, I already stamped and cut out Happy Birthday. I cut out a second outline piece from the dark blue cardstock, layered the 2 pieces together, creating a dark blue drop shadow underneath the sentiment, and I did pop it up with some foam dimension. I'll remove the release paper and adhere it in the upper left-hand corner, trying not to cover up too many of the icon images on the background paper. To finish off the card, I'm adding more Love from Lizi peel-offs. This is the mini circle style in the silver color. I'll put 3 in the upper left-hand corner around the sentiment and 2 in the lower right-hand corner. So there is my finished card, and I did make 6 using this design. One card design has a horse head and the other has a goat. The images are just adorable. And I think this birthday card would be perfect for kids or adults. Now moving on to card design number 5. The card sketch is from Freshly Made Sketches. This is number 595. I have some pink cardstock for the background and 2 different pattern papers. A paper with lots of adorable pigs and a black with white polka dot design. I'll be layering everything on some black cardstock. I'll add the black and white polka dot paper toward the bottom of the pig paper. Then layer that piece on black cardstock. On the background of the card, I'm adding some Love from Lizi peel-offs. This is the pink holographic color in the pinstripe style, and they are super sparkly. I'm using the medium and also the widest width. To help line up the peel-offs, I'm using the grid markings on my craft mat. The pink holographic peel-off color is one of my favorites. I recently finished off an entire sheet, so I had to start on a new one. I'll wrap the ends around the back, layer this piece on black cardstock, put ATG tape on the back, and add my card front onto a card base, leaving 1/8 of an inch of the white card base showing. Then I'll add the pig pattern paper panel on the right side of the card. For a sentiment, I'm adding a happy hello. I've already stamped it on a stitch circle die cut, and this sentiment stamp is from Pretty Pink Posh's Koala Smile stamp set. I've had this stamp set for a long time, and as you can see, I've only used one of the stamps. I love this sentiment. Before adhering it down, I will put a scrap cardstock piece on the upper portion of the circle, then I'll adhere it in place with some glue. For a final finishing touch, I'll add 2 large mini circle peel-offs in black in the upper left-hand corner. So there is my finished card, and this time I made a total of 8. I love how this card turned out. Lots of pretty pink, and the pig images are just adorable. Now moving on to card design number 6. I have 2 pattern papers. It's the front and back side. I'll layer the cloud paper on the dark blue and black grid pattern, and that piece is not quite an A2 size. I only had the 1 sheet left over, so I cut it 5.5 inches by 4 inches. I'll put ATG tape on the back and add my card front onto a card base. The white gap at the bottom of the card will be covered up with this grassy hillside pattern paper piece. I used a border die from Jaded Blossom to cut the hillside. Now I'll bring in several of the ephemera pieces. I have some corn, a white fence, a little chicken coop, and a little girl carrying a bucket of eggs. I'll glue down the corn on the left side of the card, put the fence in front. Before adhering the chicken coop and the little girl, I am adding a scrap cardstock piece just on the upper area where it goes above the stitched hillside. The chicken coop will go on the right side of the card, and the little girl holding the bucket of eggs will stand in front of the white fence. I'll add just a small scrap piece of cardstock behind the little girl at the top of her head. For a sentiment, I've already stamped and cut this out, just a card to say you're amazing. Using the outline die, I cut out a second piece from some dark blue cardstock. I'll glue the 2 pieces together, creating a drop shadow of dark blue cardstock. And this sentiment is from Honeybee Stamps Inside Kindness Stamp and Coordinating Die Set. I'll put glue on the back and adhere it toward the top of the card, more on the left side. For a final finishing touch, I'm using a white gel pen and adding some highlights to the corn, the little girl, and also the chicken coop. This is an easy way to add a little extra detail to the ephemera pieces. So there is my finished card, and I did make 6 using this design. The other 2 cards feature different ephemera pieces. One card has a horse behind a white fence, a little boy holding a shovel and a tree. And the third design has a goat standing on some bales of hay, a cute little sheep with a red flower, and a little boy holding a pitchfork. It's always fun to create scene cards using ephemera pieces. Now moving on to card design number 7. The card sketch is from Sketch Saturday. This is number 730. For the background of the card, I have this fun pattern paper with lots of chickens and chicks. For the diagonal strip going across the card, I'm using the yellow and orange polka dot paper. I did cut it just a little bit longer than the card panel. I'll adhere it down, flip over this panel, use my scissors to trim off the extra. For a little bit of sparkle and contrast, I'm adding a Love from Lizi peel off along the edge of the yellow polka dot paper. This is the gold holographic color in the pinstripe style. I will be covering up the center with an image, so I'm trying to use up some of the scrap peel off pieces. I'll wrap the ends around the back, layer this piece first on some black cardstock, then again on some red cardstock. Put ATG tape on the back and add my card front onto a card base. I'll be using two other pattern papers, a red grid tone-on-tone design and the chicken wire design, which is the back side of the chicken pattern paper. I have several friends that raise chickens. This set of cards will be perfect to send to them. I think the card will make them smile. For the square in the center of the card, I use the red grid tone-on-tone pattern paper, and I'll layer it on some black cardstock. I'll put glue on the back and adhere this square in the center of the card. Next, I'll add a stitch circle die cut, and I use the chicken wire pattern paper for that. At the bottom, I'm adding some craft cardstock, and I use a stitch hillside for the top portion. I'll adhere the two pieces together, then add the circle onto the grid pattern paper. Now I'll bring in several of the ephemera images. I have a chicken, a chick, and also an ephemera piece with some chicken feed. I put foam dimension on the back of the chicken and the chick, remove the release paper and adhere them in place, then I'll glue the little chicken feed down. For a sentiment, I've already stamped and cut out the word hello. This is from Honeybee Stamps Inside Kindness set. I'll put glue on the back and adhere it above the chick. For a final finishing touch, I'll add some black mini circle peel-offs in the lower left-hand corner. I'm using the medium circle size. Since the background paper has lots of chickens, I'm trying to add them and not cover up the chickens too much. So there is my finished card, and I did make 6 using this design. All of the cards feature chickens, just different ephemera pieces. I think this is a really fun card design, and I love the bright, cheerful colors of the pattern paper. After making the 6 cards, I think I still have a couple of chicken ephemera pieces left over. But I used up most of the chicken pattern paper. Now here's another look at the 46 cards I made using Bella Boulevard's EIEIO collection. This collection is absolutely adorable. I'm glad I purchased it. I think the cards will bring a little bit of sunshine to the recipients. I love having collections that work for masculine or feminine cards. And even with all of the sunflowers, I still think they would work for guy cards. And I will be purchasing a few more sheets of the sunflower pattern paper. It's so pretty. If you are interested in any of the products I used in this video, I do have links provided in the description box below. I've also provided a link for the entire Bella Boulevard EIEIO collection if you want to check out the rest of the items that coordinate with the pattern paper. Bella Boulevard always has cheerful collections with adorable images. It's hard to resist purchasing them. Their Christmas collection is always one of my favorites. I look forward to seeing what it looks like this year. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.